Hello everyone, I'm Jenny, your IELTS teacher. In this video, I'll be sharing to you the sample answers that I have prepared for this topic, describe a time when your computer broke down. But before that, I'd like to say thank you to my viewers and subscribers. And if you haven't clicked on the subscribe button yet, please support my channel by clicking the subscribe button and the notification bell as well. So, I hope that the ideas that I have used here will be useful in your IELTS preparation. Please read with me and do some shadowing. This is the topic. Describe a time when your computer broke down. You should say when it was, what you were doing, and what you did about it. Explain how you felt about it, okay? So let's begin. To be honest, there's a bunch of instances when my computer broke down. But I think the one that really stands out was when I was working on my school project. It actually happened when I was in college, and during that time, I wasn't techie yet. Although it happened more than a decade ago, I can still vividly remember that experience. Since I didn't have my own laptop, I borrowed my father's laptop, and while doing my PowerPoint presentation, the computer turned blue. I guess the operating system crashed. I panicked because I didn't know what to do. I only know basic functions and I don't have profound knowledge about computers. I did some basic troubleshooting steps, and that is turning on and off the computer. I think it wasn't enough because it won't return to normal. I mean, I can still see a lot of errors on a blue screen. To tell you the truth, it was driving me up the wall when the computer got busted because I still had so many pages to type. If the computer does not get better, it will definitely delay my job. Aside from that, I was terrified with my father because I know for a fact that laptops cost an arm and a leg. My father is a strict person and he will surely blame me for what I did. Fortunately, my brother saw the problem and he fixed the computer. He removed the battery, cleaned the hardware, especially the motherboard, and voila, it worked again. I guess that experience was really memorable, and I think that's all I want to say. Thanks for listening. So it was like 1 minute and 40 seconds more. Okay? So remember, in part 2, avoid giving answer for less than 1 minute. You will not get a good score. Now let us underline or review the words that I've used here. For in your introduction, instead of saying there are many times, there are many experiences, try to say there's a bunch of. Okay? So the one that really stands out, what does it mean? It means something or someone that's really special. For example, I have a lot of favorite actors, but the one that really stands out is Brad Pitt. So meaning your favorite is Brad Pitt. Okay? Techie, well, if you are techie, meaning you're good at technology, especially computer. Instead of saying it happened more than 10 years ago, you can say it happened more than a decade ago. Instead of saying I can still clearly remember, try to say I can vividly remember. Okay? And then these are some of the topic related words. Okay, so operating system crashed. There. Okay, basic functions. These are topic related words. Instead of saying I don't have deep knowledge, try to say profound knowledge. Example, my teacher has a profound knowledge on medicine because she is a doctor. So it means she has a deep knowledge. Deep is quite simple. You'll get a low score for that. What are the other topic-related words? Troubleshooting steps. Okay? So errors on a blue screen. Now, this is an idiomatic expression. It was driving me up the wall, which means it was making me annoyed. Just like what I always say in my previous video, you have to include idioms in your IELTS speaking exam. At least 2 to 3 idioms so that you can get band 7 and above. Okay? Another way of saying my computer got broken, you can also say my computer got busted. Okay? Instead of saying I was very afraid, try to say I was terrified. And then this is another idiomatic expression, cost an arm and a leg, which means very expensive, right? Instead of saying I know, You can say, I know for a fact that, if you want to emphasize something. Somehow it can make your sentence longer, right? Also, I recommend you can try to use adverbs. Fortunately, definitely, certainly, absolutely. These are examples of adverbs. Adverbs make your answer stronger. Okay? Now, another way of saying he fixed the computer, you can also say, instead of saying he repaired the computer, he fixed the computer. Okay? And another topic related word, hardware, no motherboard, there. Alright? When you are done with your answer, try to conclude your answer. Try to give the IELTS examiner a signal that you are done. And how do you do it? You can say, I think that's all I want to say. Thanks for listening. Don't just be quiet. Okay? You began your answer with a good introduction. You have to finish your answer as well. Okay? So, now let us continue with part 3. Please do some shadowing. Read with me. What do people use computers for? I think computers are so beneficial and people use it in many ways. For women, they use it for online shopping. For gamers, they obviously use it to play computer games. For students, they usually use computers to search information or to chat with their friends. It's also useful in businesses and in governments. I strongly believe that computers are one of the greatest inventions. So in part 3, you have to give a long answer. It should be at least 4 sentences and above. And try to give at least 2 ideas or more. Okay? Don't give 2 sentences only in part 3. It's a no-no. You will definitely get a low score. Now let us continue. Should students be allowed to use computers at school? Yes, absolutely. I think that students should be allowed to use computers. And it's mainly because it's an integral part of our society. Computer skill is a must because we live in the computer age. And it's also useful in their future job. However, I think that there should be limitations because it can lead students to computer addiction, which can affect their academic performance. Okay? So try to give at least 2 or 3 ideas in part 3. Answer the question first, make sure that your answer is clear, and then provide details. Details can be explanation, example. It actually depends on the question. Okay? In this case, I gave reasons why students should use computers at school, why they should be allowed. Okay? These are good words. We live in the computer age. Right? It's an integral part of our society, which is true. Okay? So there should be limitations. There, academic performance. Okay, computer skill is a must. It means it's necessary. Right? Let's move on to the third question. What do you think of people who are addicted to computers? Well, I think that these days computer addiction is a critical issue because there are so many people who spend most of the time on computers. I think it has harmful effects on people, especially on children, because it can negatively affect not only their physical health, but their mental health as well. Since they always use computers, they tend to have an inactive lifestyle, and it can also lead them to isolation, which may later lead to depression. Okay, so try to give longer sentences in part 3 or complex sentence structure. Okay, now, so this one, it can negatively affect not only their physical health but their mental health as well. So this is a complex compound sentence. Okay, try to use this idea. Yeah, because computer addiction is really a critical issue, right? So it affects people's health and also physical health and their mental health as well. All right, let us continue to the last question. Do you think computers make our lives simpler or more complex? Please read with me. Well, I strongly believe that computers simplify our lives, mainly because we can communicate with our loved ones who are living abroad. Because of computers, we don't need to go out and do some errands like going to the bank, buying groceries, because we can do online shopping and banking transactions can also be done on the internet. I guess computers are only complex for those who don't have computer skills, such as the old people. But in general, I would say that computers make our life easier and more convenient. Okay? So errands, These are short trips like paying bills, buying groceries. These are examples of errands. Instead of saying because, try to make your sentence longer by saying mainly because. Right? Okay, so most of the time you can say but in general. Alright? Instead of saying computers make our lives simple, computers simplify our lives. So paraphrase. Okay? If you paraphrase the question, you will get a good score in vocabulary. Avoid repeating the words in the question because you will get a low score in vocabulary. Okay? Anyways, that would be all for today. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, feel free to comment. Thank you. Bye.